Hello everyone, this is Dungeon Defenders Redux, episode 4, and today we'll be getting Divine Crystals. Ascension Hardcore on Assault Part 2 has a chance to drop Divine Crystals, which can be used to craft armor, and for every alt character you have added, increases your odds. Okay. It can be a little tricky to get this down, but I'll try and explain. And with lower stats it'll be harder, obviously, than it will be later. So here you want to aim for about this part of the tree, roughly. And then if you hold left shift, you can see if you're hitting. This run I won't add ults because it's just a show. And then hero boost once you have mana from your genie. If you do not have a genie, you might have to do down in the cliffs again on Ascension Hardcore. And then about right here, roughly, you can hit it. And then if you hold left shift, you can kind of figure it out. It's a little bit, can be a little inconsistent sometimes. Might be right here actually. About right here. Just slightly above that flower. And then here is the other one. If you hold jump and right click, you won't get stuck on the fences that are around it. And then this is the last and hardest one that will be extremely difficult to hit. You kind of just need to jump and aim around this general direction, just slightly under the top part of that tree. And then once you start seeing that you're hitting consistently, then you know you're in the right spot. You might have to move your mouse around a few times. Actually, I might be able to just... There we go. It's like right here, roughly. Just looking on the map, seeing if I'm hitting. Yep. It's like right around here. Yep. Like right there, roughly. You can hit that last crystal, and then you get a big stick weapon, which is an apprentice builder weapon. Well, it can be if it rolls the stats. I'll show really quick. It takes about 7 to 8 runs with 4 alts in to be able to get a divine crystal. This is the big stick that you can get. Okay, start level. Show one once more without any alts in because they can kind of block view. About here on the tree. Hold, and then once you have mana, hero boost. And then like right here, roughly. Should be good. Just looking at the map, making sure I'm hitting. And then you jump here. You'll hit the crystal. If you don't jump, you'll hit the defenses that are around it. Okay. And then roughly right there. And that should hit. Yep. My hero boost went down, so this might take a little bit longer. The better gear you have, the better Genie Scimitar, the easier it'll be. Later on, you can clear this map in 10 to 15 seconds. And not having hero boost really hurts this. There we go. There's run 2. And then you just reset, this time with alts. I think I'll show till I get a Divine Crystal, so about 5 more runs and then I'll go back and look. Roughly around here. Make sure you click F6 and then F8 to toggle full screen. Once you get mana, hero boost. Just look at the map, see if you're hitting. You generally want to stand in this back left corner as well. I didn't state that before. The flower doesn't spawn when you have ults in, but if you aim roughly around here, you should be able to hit. I started to go to the next crystal because I thought it would die, but it didn't. So I'll have to go back to that middle one. There we go. And then here it doesn't, because my ults are in, I need to jump, and you want to hit about that spot. Because my ults are in, it tries to go around them, and when it goes around them, it hits the defenses first, instead of going forward. The only unfortunate part about having ults in. There we go. And then you just reset. 3 to 4 more runs. And I should probably have at least one DC. Which DC just stands for Divine Crystals, just a shortened term. Roughly around here. There we go. Don't worry if it's taking you a lot of time to get it on the first run. It's fairly difficult, especially that last crystal. The aiming is pretty precise. You're just going to want to jump and then get around here just slightly below that, where that branch falls down. Where the leaves, the edge of the leaves are, just slightly under that. It's hitting, it's just low damage and only half the genie sims are hitting it. There we go. Make sure that every time you start your run, the moment you get mana, you hero boost, which is ability 3. On the monk. You have to be on a monk for this. Initiate won't really work as well. And then here you're just aiming roughly the same spot. Spamming jump and holding right click. Two more runs. Should have at least one Divine Crystal then. we go. F7, return to Tavern. Should get one at least. Can look at the rewards now. You might occasionally get something good. Everything's kind of expensive though. Got kind of unlucky, but you can kind of see these weapons are fairly good. 600. It goes up to that. I'll go ahead and save a few of these, the ones that are kind of good. Sell the rest. Get a lot of mana now. You can actually probably upgrade a few times. Range damage if possible. If you get really unlucky, you may just need to do a couple more runs to get the first Divine Crystal. Let's go have a look again. Should have gotten at least one. Wow. Okay. 3 more runs. Let's see. It's supposed to be 1 in 8 when you have ults in, but I think I've done about 7 or 8, and oh well. 3 more runs and I should have at least one. Luckily the runs aren't too long. Once you get one Divine Crystal, it can really speed up your farming and stuff, depending on the army you get. Because you can get Mythicals, Transcendent, Supreme, Ultimates. You won't be able to equip anything past Mythical for a little while, till you get to level 78, when you can use Transcendence, but you can get fairly good Mythicals from this that can give you a lot more stats and allow you to clear it faster. The goal with this is to get 4 Divine Crystals. You can get one of each armor piece in a set. So you'd want a helmet, gloves, chest, boots. And then after that, farming probably Tinker's Lab, Ascension Hardcore for XP. I did not mean to do that. And then getting to probably level 83 and then trying to complete Deeper Well on Ascension to unlock Survival, and then doing Survival first 3 waves, or if that's not possible yet, then just doing any map on Ascension gives a lot of XP, and you might be able to do, depending on the Supremes that you get, you may be able to go to Town in the Cliffs on Nightmare Hardcore, maybe even Ascension. But you'll need an Initiate and a Tower Booster. Initiate boost is a separate boost. It gives range and rate of fire for the towers, so it can really increase the damage of any tower. So Initiate and Tower Booster are especially useful. You want one of each, at least. Alright, let's see. About 11 or 12 runs. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this. I don't think I need these. They're Ultimate Plus can't be equipped to level 100, so it's not really worth keeping. Ultimates and below are generally worth keeping. If you get an Ultimate Plus Plus or a Divine of that, keep it generally, unless it has quite a few negative stats. I think I'll do 3 more runs, and if I don't get any Divine Crystals, which I should have gotten at least one by now, I will just jump cut, and once I have one, I'll be back. Any of the characters that you have in can get a Divine Crystal, so having 3 alts and a main character for 4 total gives about a 16% chance on this map to get a Divine Crystal, so about 1 in 7, 1 in 8 runs should get one. Always better to have alts in. Later on, once you can farm Sky City, on Insane at least, you can do survival of that map and get a propeller cap, which when you put on a character that is near other characters, it'll increase their DPS and it'll make the runs faster as well. So that plus getting a better Genie Scimitar from Nightmare or Ascension will make these runs go a lot faster. Alright. Should have gotten 1 to 2 at least, but if I'm extremely unlucky, I'll just pause. Skip ahead. Wow, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and... You can also get these, which are boomerangs, and they have player movement speed. They're for a monk, but they aren't meant for DPS, they're meant for just the stats. This has negative stats, so I'm just gonna sell it. I have more mana now, so I'm gonna upgrade this a few times, just to make the runs go a little bit quicker. Okay, I'm gonna go back in, and I think I'll make a jump cut right now till I get a Divine Crystal. Okay, I'm back. I got exceedingly unlucky with my luck. Oh, of course. I did about 25 to 30 runs total, and in that many runs I should have gotten 3 to 4, but within the last 2 runs I got 2 instead somehow, so I go ahead and put these in here to look at these. That's really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Hold on to this as well. Basically just looking at anything with a lot of power tower damage and positive sets. If you're somehow even more unlucky than me and it took you longer than 30 runs to get just 1, then I don't honestly know. I'm gonna make a folder for Divine Crystals. Throw these in here. Actually, I should probably name this. And then I'm gonna pets. Actually, if you control drag into the upper arrow, it'll pull it out. Okay, so I have 2. Now, where you can spend these, you need to be in the default tavern. Some taverns work, a lot of them don't. You need to be in the default tavern. Once you change back to default, if you're not on default, you need to go into a map, any map, and then come back to tavern, and your tavern will be reset. If you're already in default tavern, good. You need to follow this path, roughly. I mean, you can go up that way, it doesn't matter. Up these stairs, up these, all the way up this, and then directly over here on this floor, where this stuff is, then there's the forge room. Press E, open. This is the Void Forge. This is in Redux only. It does not exist in live. This is where the baby old ones can be crafted that I was talking about. And these weapons that are generally not good. You can craft a higher quality, but they don't really roll that well. These weapons all have movement speed. None of them are used for DPS, and the stats they roll are not particularly good, so you're never crafting these with Void Crystals. You're saving your Void Crystals for these baby old ones. You won't be getting any Void Crystals for a while. They're fairly late game maps. Okay, so this is the Divine Fortress. This is what is important. This is how this whole strategy works. That's why we got the Genie Scimitar. You can craft armor with Divine Crystals. So every type of armor, pristine gloves, leather, and it lets you craft the specific piece you want. So chain helmets, chain chest, lets you craft the exact same time. So I'm gonna look, I'm gonna go ahead and craft helmets. I have one, and you'll see that it made 10 armor pieces, and then I'm gonna come over here, sort. I got 3 ultimates. Look at these. Look how good these are compared to what I have, which has like 20 stats. These have 300 plus. This is fairly good as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and sort this stuff out real quick. Just throw it in. Throw it in here. I'm gonna delete that actually. So I'm gonna. Some of the stuff is instantly equipable as well, like this. Look at this, 301 stat, the hero damage and hero boost. That's really good for a mythical, and you'll get 10 pieces total. Just keep all of the stuff for right now. Also, you can go back in here if you want and just unlock all, sell all. Make sure you don't have anything that you don't want in there. You can always sort through it again. And then I'm gonna throw this in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and equip one of these. Probably this one. And then I'm just gonna sell this. I don't need it anymore. And now look at the stats that I get for this. 300, 300, 250 ups. But you need a lot of mana, which is where we're going to go after I get 3 more divine crystals. You want 4 total, so I already used one. I have an extra one. And you want to make sure you're crafting within the same set. So you don't have to make chain like I did. You don't have to make helmets like I did. But you want to keep in the same set. So if you're making plate, make a plate helmet. If you have a place chest plate or plate gloves, it doesn't really matter. So I already crafted helmets. I'm going to make chest plate. There's 10 more armor. And then I got a bunch more. These are not equipable for a while, so don't worry about that. Just looking for positive stats. Hopefully I get something I can use. This is probably the best. It doesn't have hero boost, but it's still 200 extra hero damage, which is the one with the swords and the character standing. And I'll be able to equip these a bit, which is, this one's really good. Stuff is useful later. This is also good. Go ahead and equip this, lock, sell, and then just control. You don't really need the godly, so you can just sell it. And then I'm gonna get 2 more, so I have 4 total, so I can make a full set. You don't have to make chain like I did, by the way. You can make whatever. Just make sure it's all in the same set when you're crafting this first. And I also just got so much more stats now. Should be able to farm a little bit easier after you have each divine crystal. I'll be right back once I have 2 more divine crystals. Alright, I'm back. I farmed 2 more divine crystals. I think my luck started to average out. Wow, I got 3 actually. That's especially lucky, yeah. Although I was fairly unlucky for a while, so it probably just means my luck actually averaged out. I'm just looking for positive stats. None of these are good. If yours are, keep them, put them in a folder for now. They won't be equipable for a little bit, but same route. Just go into the Divine Forge really quick. And because I crafted helmets and gloves before, I'll be crafting chestplate and boots next. If you crafted something else, you'll want to craft the other pieces. Okay, so I'm making chain and boots. Okay, so I'm gonna get these, see what they are. I got an ult plus, but you see it's not equipable for a while. I'll definitely keep it, but it won't be useful for a little while. This one's not particularly good, but I'll hold on to it just in case I need it. Might use it for a tower booster. Just looking for positive stats. I did not get anything really. This is probably the best one, but it is a lot of negatives. With that extra divine crystal that I got, I may actually make an extra set of gloves. I'm just gonna throw these in here. Make boots. Oh, wow. That is... Okay, so I just saw that I got a void, which is incredibly lucky. And I'm going to turn on the sensor. The sensor, I'm just not supposed to show any stats, really. I mean, it is void. You'll see, like, it gets a bonus. This is not going to be usable for literally anything. It has none of the stats I need. If it had hero damage as well, it would be usable. It'd be usable for DPS because it has hero health, hero boost, and it would have hero damage. But this is missing tower damage and hero damage, and it doesn't have particularly high radius, which is what you'd want for a monk or an initiate. So this is just gonna go in a folder. I'm not gonna use it. So if you get a good void, once you're level 100, you can go ahead and use yours. I want to turn the sensor back off. Okay, these are usable. This one's fairly good. I think I'll probably end up using that. Just looking for hero health, hero boost. Go ahead and sell this. Sell the cursed. Anything below mythical you don't need to keep. And I think I will craft an extra gloves. That was fairly lucky, but you can get voids and they're just not remotely usable, but you can reroll them later on. So they have a use. It's not, you shouldn't get rid of them. Okay, there we go. This is what I needed. Okay. If you for some reason get unlucky like I did, you can always farm a few more divine crystals. They don't take that long to farm, unless you're really unlucky for some reason. And then I'm just gonna hold on to everything. And see, now my stats are significantly higher. I have low hero health, but when you're farming for divine crystals, it doesn't really matter, so. You can always respec if you need to. Alright, I'm gonna go on my Series EV. When you press type kill me in chat, it sends you back to the spawn, so it's faster than just running back to the forge. Running back to the downstairs area. Okay, I'm gonna equip my Series EV. I'm just looking for all positive tower stats. Oh, wow, I'm getting nothing. That one looks kind of usable. Doesn't seem like I got a mythical. A lot of mythicals. I'll soon be able to use Transcendence, so that'll be a big stat increase as well. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and use that, I guess. I don't have a choice. And then that. Luckily, the rate and range don't matter too much. That one looks usable. Just looking for as many tower stats as possible. That one's really good. Has every tower stat. That one's also good. Oh, there's a few more actually. I think the one I have equipped is slightly better. Has the health on it. I'm just gonna equip this. I may actually hold on to this. I don't know. I'll just sell it. I don't need it. And then I have this mythical as well that I can equip, but I honestly might not even need it. I'll equip it. It's extra stats. I'll lose hero, like tower HP, but it's not that big a deal. Make sure you press X when you want to swap to a weapon that you want to get rid of. You can also unequip one of the weapons. Send it to the item box, because otherwise it'll just replace your currently equipped. So now look at my stats, 3,000 almost. I'm just in mythicals as well. I don't even have any accessories. My armor isn't even that good. It's not upgraded. And this is about, 3 to 4 hours in. So. And then I'm going to test Ascension Tinker's Lab first wave and see if I can do it. With the stats, I should be able to. And then I'll be right back. And then I'll do a few runs. If I can do it. If I can't, I'll do something else for XP to get to level 78. Okay, I'm back. I tested Tinker's Lab Ascension Hardcore, and it works with the stat range. If you have lower stats, it should also work. Same build as Nightmare Hardcore, actually. Gives about 3 to 4 times more experience as well. An alternative to this, if you have a Huntress leveled up and you have it in Mythical Gear's Ember Mount First Wave on Ascension Hardcore, you can complete it with just traps, walls, and auras. And it's doable with about 1,000 to 1,500 stats in your primary stat. But you'll need a Huntress leveled up. And it'll give about 10 million XP on your Huntress and 8 million on the other characters. I'll put a link in the description for a video that goes over how to do it, in case you want to level a Huntress and farm XP on that map instead. Same exact build as Nightmare Hardcore, just shock beams, walls, same spots. It'll take about 30 million XP, so about 3 to 4 runs of this map from now to get to level 78 from 75. On my Series EV, it may take a little bit longer with the other characters. And I'm going to start to level my Adept as well, because I'll be needing it very soon. I'll want to get my Adept up to level 78, because that's going to be my primary builder for the rest of the game, pretty much. Series EV will begin to just be used for buff beams. After level 78, level 83 is the next jumping point. You can equip Supremes, and it's about 130 million total XP from 0 to get to level 83, and then after 83, the next jumping point in armor is Ultimate Gear, and it's level 90. Level 90, you need 384 million XP from 0. I'm just gonna, oops, F8. Add my Initiate, my Monk, and I'm gonna start to level my Adept. I'm gonna get my Monk the damaging bonus by damaging at least one enemy. This is the DPS Monk. And this is what I'm gonna be doing for a little while. I need to get a Tower booster leveled up, I need to get an Initiate booster leveled up. My Adept leveled up to level 78 as well, and maybe a Huntress so I can farm Ember Mount, but I may not bother with that. I'm just gonna spawn that so it kills them. And look, yep, really easy. If you have less stats, you can probably do it. It's probably doable with like 1,500 or 2,000. And then my Monk gets about 9 million, my other characters get about 5. My builder gets more, but it's about 6.87 million. You can run to these chests if you want. The armor that drops from it can occasionally be good now, because it's on Ascension. But this map's just for XP. If you want armor, you can farm more Divine Crystals. And I'm just going to reset. And just keep going. I think after this episode there will be a lot more jump cuts, just to save time, because I'm trying to make the series more for information than playthrough, and I don't really think there's very much value in seeing me run a map and just kind of run around. Here it's pretty much the same thing. I may skip a few rounds of this, or just do a little bit of leveling off camera to get my other characters that I need to level 83 or 78. Probably. I don't think I need to get them to 83 for the most part. Again, just building on the Series EV. You can build on another character if you want, like a Squire or Countess or Adept or Apprentice, but Series EV is just the most efficient shock beams and walls is all you need. Other characters would need different stuff, but it's definitely doable. Not sure what stat range you'd need on Ascension though. Huntress is very rarely used, so you can level one if you want, but there's not really much value. Occasionally you can use gas traps for stuff, but most of the time you'd rather have other towers that actually do damage. Gas traps are good when you don't have enough damage to clear the map otherwise, because they can slow the ogres and all the enemies. Gas traps just stun everything. And they're relatively cheap. I think they're about 3 defense units. Just grab my Initiate, Adept, and Monk. I think once my Monks, I may actually... Let's see what it hits. How much XP did I need? Was it 87 million? 67 million, so my Monk is almost level 78, and then I'll swap out to another character. I'm just gonna hit once with the Monk, go back to this one. Should be really consistent now with this stat range, even though it's Ascension. Still wouldn't be able to clear this whole map yet on this stat range, on this difficulty, but not that far away. Once I can begin to equip ults, my stats will go up quite a lot. I think I'm just not even gonna bother looking at the chest. I'll look at this one while I'm waiting. Nothing's gonna drop, okay. Just F7, restart. You can look at the chest, you can swap the summoner and just run around and pick up the mythicals, but I don't really think anything is gonna drop. It's particularly good that you can also get from farming divine crystals. I think once my Series EV is level 78, I may, during the wave, before the wave starts, swap out to another character to get more XP. So I have one more character and instead of my Series EV. Because the Series EV will not be used for towers after this point, really. That's what the Adept will be for. Series EV will be strictly buff beams, reflect beams, and occasionally walls when needed. But this is pretty much the last point where the Series EV will be used like this. The reason why is Series EV doesn't have a lot of range towers, and the only range tower Series EV has is Sam Unit, which is not particularly good compared to Adept or Apprentice towers. The damage is kind of lackluster. The scaling isn't particularly great. I don't think it can hit through walls like the Adept and Apprentice towers can. The Lightning Tower and Deadly Striker Tower can hit through walls, and they scale with stats a lot better as well. I may actually leave my DPS Monk out because that's the first character I'll want to get to level 90, so I can equip Ultimate Gear to farm Divine Crystals much easier, and also equip a Ultimate Genie Scimitar when I get one. Ultimates for weapons get more damage per upgrade, so getting to level 90 is very important on the DPS character. F8, Initiate, Adept, think my DPS monk is already level 78, actually. I could swap to another character, but I think it's more valuable to get it to level 90 as quick as possible. Because when I do Town in the Cliffs on Nightmare or Ascension, I'll most likely only be getting ults. If I'm lucky, I'll get a Supreme, which can be used to level 83, but otherwise I may need to farm more XP before I can use it. And once you get an Ultimate Genie Scimitar, you can farm Divine Crystals a lot easier, and that'll be the primary armor farm for right now anyway. Later on you can farm Survivals, but it's, in my opinion, less efficient than farming Divine Crystals. But farming Divine Crystals is, what was I gonna say? It can be very mind-numbing. Farming lots and lots of Divine Crystals can be quite mind-numbing. About 2 more runs and I should be level 78. After I hit 78 on my EV, I'm going to swap to my DPS monk at the beginning, the end of the round. After this point, I'll be getting Transcendence on my Apprentice, leveling a Tower Booster, and Defense Booster, which is an Initiate. Spec'd into Ability 1, which is Defense Boost. Getting them Genie Scimitars for Mana Collection, and then a Genie Pet. But I already have Genie Pets and Genie Scimitars because I saved them. If you for some reason don't, you can do Town in the Cliffs, Insane, Hardcore, another time. Should be a lot easier with these stats now, but if you don't have a Genie Pet for some reason, you can try that map again. On Insane, you can also do Hall of Court, which is a campaign map. You'll have to clear up to it. And I think level Survival, Wave 15. Drops a Genie. Killing any enemies that get stuck. Goblin stuck. can see them on the map. There we go. Should be about one more run. 7. Once you get an Ultimate Genie Scimitar, you can start to farm Town in the Cliffs much more efficiently, and at that point you're basically at end game. You can get as much armor as you want. You just won't be able to use Ultimate Plus and Plus Plus and Divine Slash Void till level 100. You can always farm XP on a map. A lot of maps when completed on Ascension also give a lot of XP. So you can just go to random maps and you'll get XP. Deeper Well Ascension Survival, first 3 waves are generally the best though. I like lower stats. You don't need to really build if you have DPS pets or a DPS weapon, you can just kill enemies really easy. For some reason on that map on Survival, the first 3 waves, the enemies are especially easy. So you just need a slightly good DPS weapon or a DPS pet. And you can clear it very easy. It's about 11 million XP for a minute or 2 of combat. And you can just reset level. And I've done that before to get to level 100 multiple times on several different characters. Before I had Ultimate Defender and could use XP orbs, which allow you to go from level 0 to level 100. But you need the Ultimate Defender achievement, set of achievements, which is very grindy to get. But worth it eventually. But I would wait a little bit until you have better armor and everything. Weapons, DPS, stuff like that. I'm gonna add on my characters. Initiate. I think my initiate is getting close. That needs 16 million more. Again, I'm just F3 through F5 to spawn them in the ascending order. You have to click F3, then F4, then F5 to spawn one at a time. And F8 toggles full screen. Just hitting with the monk because I want him to get the most XP. No idea what happened up here. Oh, the archer is hitting it. Wow. Okay, didn't know it could do that. It's been unfortunate. Getting a summoner leveled up does not particularly matter that much, so I won't be doing that for a little bit. The tower and defense booster are the most important once I get these characters leveled up. After getting a ultimate genie scimitar, I'll most likely go to get a propeller cat from insane scarcity survival, and that'll boost the DPS and increase the efficiency of the farm for divine crystals. Makes it go a lot faster. Propeller cats boost player damage. Insane Sky City is not particularly difficult. You don't even need to complete it on hardcore, so you can just... should be able to just use the Genie Scimitar to kill the boss on that map as well. It's just a bit slow as well. What's going on? I don't know why, but this build's all of a sudden failing. Randomly, the enemies are just hitting over walls and stuff. Somehow getting out. And on this difficulty, they do a lot of damage to the core, so they can just one-shot it almost. I think it may have been this orc that's supposed to come down here that killed that crystal up there somehow. Like re-aggroed onto something else. I don't think I've seen that before. The current plan for maps to complete are the majority of the maps that give you good items and things that you want. So like mana, DPS weapons, DPS pets, getting geared. I may not be able to show survivals on the map because you generally need a lot higher stats, but we'll see. Depends on the map. Seems to be working this time. I don't know why it broke last time and the time before. Enemies are getting stuck here. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. Just gonna run around and kill them real quick with my Genie Scimitar. Just to speed up the round. Where's this last one? There's two enemies stuck somewhere. Should be up there, yep. And then over here. Okay, there we go. 78 on my Series EV. And I think level 79, there we go. Getting the DPS monk to level 83 and then level 90 will be very important. Okay. Back to Tavern. Now that Series EV is level 78, before the round starts, I'll swap off Series EV to DPS monk, and then I'll be leveling these two tower and defense boosts next. Once this character is levels up to level 78, I'll still be leveling Adept though. That character is very important. Getting it to ult gear will be very important. That's what I'll do next. Tower boost, defense boost, and getting these two characters up to level 83 probably.